Hi there, this video is an exam paper walkthrough of the AQA GCSE Mathematics Foundation Tier Paper 1 from summer 2023. This paper is worth 80 marks in total and this is the second video of 4. It will focus on questions 7 to 12 which account for 18 of these marks. AQA paper 1s are non-calculator so a calculator cannot be used. A little disclaimer, there may be more than one way to answer a question. The methods shown in this video are not the only way some mathematical skills can be applied. Okay, let's get started. Question 7. Misha recorded the main type of weather each day for 55 days. The pictogram shows the results for rain, snow and cloud. So here's our pictogram. We've been given a key. So it tells us that one large square that's made up of 1, 2, 3, 4 smaller squares is equal to 4 days. So one smaller square must be 1 day. So we need to remember that for our pictogram. Rain, snow, cloud, nothing completed for sun and fog yet. Sun was recorded on one more day than fog. That's an important piece of information. And it says then to complete the pictogram for 55 days. So some of the days have already been completed for us. We need to figure out how many days have been completed and then that will tell us the number of days left to split between sun and fog appropriately. So we're going to find the total days for rain first. Remember, each little square is worth 1. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16. So rain was 16 days. We'll do the same for snow. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10. So 10 days had snow. Same for cloud. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10, 11, 12, 13, 14, 15, 16, 17, 18. So 18 days have cloud. And I wrote the numbers as I was counting so that I knew that I didn't miss one of those individual squares out. So there were 55 days in total and these are the number of days that we've got in that pictogram so far. So we're going to do 16 plus 10 plus 18. So 6 plus 0 is 6 plus 8 is 14. 1, 2, 3, 4. So 44 days are in that diagram already. So 55 subtract 44 because 55 is the total days we're representing. 5 subtract 4 is 1. 5 subtract 4 is 1. So we've got 11 days left to split between sun and fog, which is where we need to go back to this important piece of information here. It tells us that sun was recorded on one more day than fog. So if we take away that one, we can split 10 equally between sun and fog. So 10 divided by 2 is 5. So they each need 5 of those small squares. But sun has one more, so we need to put that extra one there on sun. And what's important with pictograms is that you use the symbols fully like they are in the key. So if you are able to make a full larger square with 4 individual squares inside, then you need to do that before you then start thinking about the parts of those larger squares. So there's 4 marks in total for that question. Question 8. So to start with, we've been given a formula. T equals 5p subtract w. 8a says work out the value of t when p equals 4 and w equals 2. So it's given us the value of p and the value of w. So this is a substitution question and we're going to use this formula they've given us at the top. What we need to recognise from that formula is what 5p actually means. It means 5 multiplied by p and then we subtract w. It's important to remember that fact there. Now we can substitute in the values for p and for w. So T equals 5 times 4 because P equals 4. Subtract 2 because W equals 2. Now that I've done that, I can start working out the value of T. So 5 times 4 is 20. And then 20 subtract 2 is 18. So T equals 18. 8b. Work out the value of P when T equals negative 40 and W equals 10. So this time we don't know what P is, but they've given us T and W. So we're going to substitute T and W into this equation here. So T is negative 40. We don't know what P is, so I'm just going to write 5 multiplied by P, but I know that W is 10, so I'm going to write subtract 10. And now I'm going to do inverse operations to find out what the value of P should be. So the first inverse operation I'm going to do is add 10, because I want to eliminate this minus 10. And I have to do it to both sides to keep the equation balanced. So negative 40 add 10 is negative 30. 5 times P is still 5 times P. And then negative 10 add 10 is 0. So it's eliminated it from the right hand side. Now I'm going to do the inverse of multiplying by 5, which is to divide by 5. And I need to do that to both sides. So negative 30 divided by positive 5 is negative 6. And 5 times P divided by 5 just leaves us with P. Doesn't matter that the P is on the right hand side. What matters is we have this answer here. So P is equal to minus 6. Question 9. Match each box on the left to the box on the right with the same value. One has been done for you. So we have 4 boxes on the left, but we have 6 boxes on the right. So we're not going to need to use all of this. So that's an important thing to note. The first one's been done for us, so 1/10 has been matched to 0.1 because they're equivalent. If we were to convert 1/10 into a decimal, we get 0.1. If we were to convert 0.1 into a fraction, we would get 1/10. So here we need to use our knowledge of fraction, decimal and percentage equivalents. So we've got a fraction of a half here. As a percentage, that would be 50%. As a decimal, that would be 0.5. So I'm going to look down the remaining 5 options for 50% or 0.5. None of them are 50% or 0.5, but we have these 2 fractions here that could be simplified, so could actually match in fraction form. So let's simplify them to start off with. So 2/6, I can divide the numerator and the denominator by 2, which would give me 1/3. And then 10/20, I can divide the numerator and denominator by 10, which would give me 1/2. So actually these two do match because they give the same simplified fraction form. The next thing to note is we're going to match up a quarter and a fifth. Well, we've just said that 2/6 is equal to 1/3. So actually we're not going to need to use that box. So we've only got 3 boxes to choose from for the 2 remaining values. Again, we need to know decimal and percentage equivalents. So 1/4 is 25% or 0.25. I have 0.25 as a decimal there, so we can match these 2 up. Lastly, we've got 1/5. And it's either going to match to 0.05 or 20%. So again, we want those decimal and percentage equivalents for 1/5. So as a percentage, it's 20%, and as a decimal, it's 0.2. So it's quite clear that we're going to join it to the 20% box, and we actually didn't need 0.05 or 2/6 to answer this question. Question 10. Here are 2 calculations, A and B. So A has the calculation 8 multiplied by 3 add 2. And B has the calculation 21 subtract, in brackets, 15 subtract 4. Work out answer to A multiplied by answer to B. So it's a 3-mark question. So if we want the answer to A and we want to multiply it by the answer to B, we need to work out these two calculations. So let's start with A, which is 8 times 3, add 2. Multiplication needs to be done before addition. It's the order of operations. So 8 multiplied by 3 is 24. And then add the 2 gives us a value of 26 for A. Let's do the same with the calculation for B. Order operations tells us that brackets need to be dealt with first. So 21 subtract 15 subtract 4 is 11. 21 subtract 11 is 10 for the value of B. Now we need to multiply those two answers together. So 26 multiplied by 10 is 260. And that's our final answer on the answer line. Question 11. Convert 7 gallons to litres. Use 1 gallon equals 4.5 litres. So I'm going to just do a quick proportion table here to organise the information. So we have gallons, litres. So 1 gallon is 4.5 litres. We want to figure out what 7 gallons are. So to go from 1 to 7, we would multiply by 7. So if we do the same on the other side, because of that proportional relationship, that will tell us how many litres there are in 7 gallons. So the sum we're doing is 4.5 multiplied by 7. Okay, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to multiply 4.5 by 10 to make it 45. And then I'm going to calculate the sum 45 times 7. You can do this however you like. I'm going to use column method. So 7 times 5 is 35. And then 7 times 4 is 28. Add the 3, which gives us 31. So 45 times 7 is 315. But that isn't the answer to 4.5 times 7. I need to do the inverse of this multiply by 10 to find out what the correct answer would be for that initial sum. So the inverse of multiplying by 10 is dividing by 10. So 315 divided by 10 is 31.5. So 7 gallons is equal to 31.5 litres, and that is my answer. Question 12. The table shows monthly payments for electricity. October was £120, November was £240. Write down the percentage increase from October to November. So for the percentage increase, we need to find the difference. So 240 subtract 120 is 120. So the increase is exactly the same as the cost for electricity in October. So because it's exactly the same, it's 100% increase.